How's it going, Mathaholics? Today we're going to be comparing functions. So this says a barbershop owner is considering buying do-rags for the barbers in his shop as a Christmas present. The cost of buying the do-rags online is represented by the equation y equals 6.95x plus 1.50. The cost of buying the do-rags in person is represented by the table below. So we see the table and it shows us the number of do-rags, 1 through 5, and then we see the cost of the do-rags as well. Right underneath that, it tells us to write an equation to represent the cost of do-rags at the store. So we want to know the cost per do-rag. So the cost of one do-rag, that can be represented by y equals 7.50x because 7.50, $7.50 is the cost of one do-rag. So that's all we have to do. I'm gonna just highlight that, and we are done with that part of the question. Excuse me. Now the second part is telling us which method of buying do-rags is cheaper if the barber wants to buy 12 do-rags. So what methods are we comparing? We are comparing online versus at the store. And we know the equation, for online because it's given to us in the problem up here. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. It's 6.95x plus $1.50 plus 1.50. And I'm going to change the color of this just because we have a lot of blue down here. And then the equation for the do-rags at the store is y. That's equals y as well. Y equals 7.50x. Okay, so does this equation, the way it's written right now, tell us the price of 12 do-rags? No, it tells us the price for whatever number we plug into this x. Same here. Does this equation tell us the price for 12 do-rags? No, it tells us the price for whatever number we plug into x. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's plug in 12 into x because we are asked to find the cost of 12 do-rags. 6.95 times 12, delete that x and just write a 12. Let's see what that math gives us to be. I'm going to go ahead and write that up here. 695 times 12. 5 times 2 is 10, put that up here. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Put that 0 in there as a placeholder. And then we have 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 6 is 6. And then we simply add. 0, 0 is 0. 9 plus 5 is 14. Put that 1 up here. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 9 is 13. And then 1 plus 6 is 7. And I'm so sorry I forgot to put a 1 up here earlier, but this should be an 8. 83.40, and I do know that because I also put it into the calculator. Just made a simple mistake there, but we learned how to do this a couple years ago, so I'm not really worried about anybody not knowing how to multiply numbers. So we get that it costs 83.4 when we multiply the 6.95 times 12. However, we also have to add this $1.50. So what is 83.4 plus $1.50? Let's see what we get. Plus 1.50. I'm going to plug that into the calculator. That gives us 84.9, excuse me. I mean, I could have done that in my head, but I don't know why. I just didn't. So 84.9, I'm sure most of you were able to get that in your head. That is going to be the price of 12 do-rags when we buy them at the store. Sorry, online. And then now we're going to look at the price for 12 do-rags when we buy them at the store. All we have to do is plug in 12 into this. So we get 7.50 times 12, and that gives us 90. So which one is cheaper? It's clearly cheaper that it is the online do-rags are cheaper by like around $5.10 or so. And now we can just say delete all this to answer the question. Online is cheaper. Now let's say we were given a graph and we were asked to compare this graph to the table or to the equation or to the equation that we saw originally. What would we do? Well, I just completely made this graph up. It is not proportional to the price of the durags. I just wanted to show you a little example of what you would do. First thing you do is find the slope. Let's look at rise over run. Or we could do our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 formula to see what our slope would be. And then we put that into our y equals mx plus b. Slope is m. Then we plug in, we need to find our b. We know how to do that based on previous videos. That is simply plugging in x and y coordinates for x and for y. That will give us our b. And then we plug in this 12. So that's basically all that you would have had to do. But this problem didn't ask us to do all that stuff, so I just explained how you would do it with the parts of the problem that we actually had to do.